Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Dragon Ball Super Dragon Star figures. So this is basically Dragon Ball Super's version of like the DC Multiverse line, the Marvel Legends, Power Rangers Legacy line, those type of figures, about around the $20 range that are well articulated, pretty well detailed, usually come with a couple extra hands, sometimes something special for them. In this case of these guys, not really. And then a build figure piece, and in this case, this first wave here includes 3 pieces for Shenron, and the second wave will include the other 3 pieces. Just gonna cut in the middle here real quick, because past me was an idiot and forgot to show off. This is the Shenron you get with it. It's made up of 3 pieces. One comes with the head, one this little neck piece, and then one this main body piece. And luckily, it's nice that you actually can put the ones you have together, so you have a little something. And it's honestly pretty nice looking, and it's a nice. It's a nice collectible set that they've decided to make for this first one, and it'll be interesting to see how it looks compared to the Figuart Shenron that's coming out. And also, Beerus does include a stand, which will be able to put Shenron on fully, and you can probably finagle him on there in this form if you want to. But yeah, overall, just really nice looking, and it's nice that you can actually put them together, because sometimes you're not able to put them together in a cohesive way with figures like these. Anyway, back to Idiot Past Me. Just to get it out of the way real quick, each of them do include alternate hands. They're basically all just kind of opened, combination of could be like a blast energy or martial arts, just open hand. Beerus has like the most, I was gonna say wavy, that's not the right word, but like the most open, like they're more high five, more typical of his style, whereas Vegeta and Goku's are pretty much identical. You got like this, the gloved ones here for Vegeta, and then before the camera loses focus on this area, Goku's little ones right there. So yeah, that's what you get. And then obviously the closed fists, which are on them. I'm not going to go over the boxes too much, but I do really appreciate the cool artwork on the side. So if you're someone that saves boxes and you like to keep them on a shelf or something, I always like boxes like that where you get something neat to look at. And then just on the back, I also wanted to show the second wave is going to include Super Saiyan Vegeta, regular Frieza, and then standard Goku, whereas this wave obviously is Super Saiyan Goku, we got Beerus, and Vegeta. And let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with Vegeta. And I guess I'll just start by saying these are overall really nice figures. I think they're pretty good. I will show a brief comparison, and it's going to be kind of weird because it's not directly to anything I have here, but to a Figuart, and there has been a lot of Dragon Ball Figuarts, and I've liked some of them, and they're still good, and I haven't gotten any in a while, but I think these are really nice substitutes because they are a bit cheaper depending on which one you get. You know, Dragon Ball Figuarts I've seen go for cheaper than I thought, and way more expensive on the aftermarket, but I think these are pretty good alternatives. I think they did a pretty solid job on these figures. I think the head sculpt's really well done on all of them. Here's Vegeta's just kind of in a standard angry face, but it looks pretty accurate to the show with the details on there. The hair's pretty good. It looks a little like weirdly, faded's not the right word, but kind of messy. Not like the hair, but just like the paint job. But the colors on his suit look good. I think they're vibrant. They look like the show. And the mold for articulation is pretty well done as well. You get a really good range of articulation, almost as good as Figuarts. The only real problem I have with it is occasionally you'll get those gaps here, but luckily you can clear them. And like, this is also a problem I have with the Legacy line of Power Rangers, is that you have this gap right here with the ball joint. But other than that, it's very well articulated, and really nice, and it does rival Figuarts for that, because you have like the double joints and stuff. And then you have a nice movement there. His head can move around and up and down a bit, but it's not quite as much as a Figuart, but it's pretty solid. And like lately, a lot of the Figuarts, I guess all around, but some of the non-Rider stuff has been so iffy in quality that I've really been leaning towards more of these Marvel Legends, Multiverse, Legacy lines, which are a little bit cheaper, and you get some pretty nice figures. Goku's pretty nice as well. I think that the face sculpt is well done. The hair looks a little weird to me. It looks like macaroni and looks a little strange, and it makes me a little worried for the Super Saiyan Blue hair, because that was my complaint about the Super Saiyan Blue Figuarts, is that I wanted it to have that lighter blue look the hair gets sometimes, and it had a darker look, and I fear that it's going to give it that kind of look with this weird hair, which I think the Figuarts definitely pulls off better. This looks a little macaroni-like. But the cloth on his clothes looks good. It kind of also represents that color well. Maybe a smidge lighter, but but it's still pretty decent, as I was trying to say. And they got the nice little like folds there to make it look, you know, clothy. And the articulation is basically the same on him as well. But he's pretty nice. I mean, even though Goku's one of my favorites, possibly my favorite. He's my favorite. the figure is my least favorite, I think, of the three. Now, this is the one I was most excited about, Beerus, because Beerus and Whis are two of my favorite additions to Dragon Ball with the series, and I've been toying around with the idea of getting a figure art for a while, and if it goes down in price, which probably won't happen, I might still pick up one of or both of them and do a comparison later. But since I've been waiting so long, and this was like half the price of what I found Beerus figure art for, and it's more than decent for that. Like, I think the head sculpt's really well done. It definitely is mad portion of his personality, but I think it reflects it well. The colors on it are well done, both in like his like clothes and like his regular body. And they also have that nice cloth detail there. So it's a nice figure. My only complaint with it in terms of what I wanted out of it is I wanted to pose him with his hands behind his back, which the figure art can definitely do, and you can't really do that here, which is the only thing that bothers me, and is part of the reason I might end up getting a figure art eventually anyway, and then take a look at them both together. Hopefully, it would be really awesome if there was some kind of sale, but like right now, I've seen both Beerus and Whis at about $40-ish, give or take. Most places that I found that are more reasonable. And this is about $20, also give or take, depending on where you get it. So that's like half the price for honestly a really nice figure that my only real complaint outside of figure arts maybe having a bit more details and a few possibilities is the fact that he can't put his arms behind his back. And also the articulation on this guy is the same as the other two. This only will hinder it slightly, and he also has the tail here that you can move. Now, I don't know why I did this last since I did Vegeta first, but just as a quick comparison, I know they're a bit different, but at least it's the same character. Here is Vegeta next to Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta figure art, which is the only Dragon Ball Super related figure I believe I own. And as you can see, they are a bit skinnier. They do have a little bit more points of articulation. The face is superior in some ways, and some of the Dragon Ball figure arts will come with interchangeable faces. So this is still a nice figure, but I think that if you're trying to save money, depending on what figure you want and the price they're at, that this is a perfectly fine line, especially as they come out with more, because I know that I haven't seen a very good price range for Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and you know that they're going to do it in this line probably pretty soon. I'm going to assume Wave 3, and that's honestly $20 versus what I've seen it go for is pretty good. So if you're looking for a decent Dragon Ball figure and you don't want to spend so much on some of the figure arts that have gone for high prices, then I can recommend checking these out. These are very solid figures. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to check out the Crazy Podcast at WritersRangeRambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Awesome Writer, signing out.